Hi, my name is Farnad Nasirzadeh and I am a senior lecturer of construction management at Deakin University. We proposed a project to Leaders for Geelong last year to investigate the negative health effects of noise. The project was accepted by the committee, and we worked on this community-based project with leaders for around 1 year. Construction and traffic noise is now one of the main sources of pollution in fast-growing cities such as Geelong, and it's one of the main concerns of the community. In our project, we investigated the physical and mental health effects of construction and traffic noise using wearable sensors attached to the body of participants. This project provides new insights into how people are being exposed to noise and the potential health-related risk. The project will assist our regulatory authorities in policy making to protect community against the negative health effects of construction and traffic noise.
It is no surprise that Geelong has become such a popular place to live and work. Geelong boasts an amazing arts and food culture, world-class education and training facilities, thriving sport and recreation, and an amazing natural environment. With all of this on offer, and as Victoria's second largest city, Geelong has experienced significant growth and development in recent years. In 2019, the city published growth data indicated a population growth of around 2.5% per annum, a direct reflection of overall regional expansion, supported by the construction sector, which experienced a 10% surge in jobs between 2011 and 2016. With growth expected to continue and our population forecast to increase by more than 150,000 over the next 20 years, the key focus of the Central Geelong Action Plan is to increase the number of people living and working in the city. To meet these projected levels, continued expansion of Geelong's suburban residential areas and employment precincts is planned. This has started with the redevelopment and new construction of a number of significant buildings, including some of the following.
There is also a number of current and upcoming major projects, including the Convention Centre, City of Greater Geelong Civic Accommodation, GMHBA Head Office, and the Geelong Arts Centre Stage 3.
Noise is a part of everyday life, and whilst hearing loss remains the leading impact of noise exposure, there are also non-auditory impacts. There is a growing body of evidence of the non-auditory impacts of noise, such as anxiety, frustration, headaches, difficulty with concentration and focus, which has also been linked to hypertension and cardiovascular disease. In 2018, the Australian Health Department reviewed more than 200 research papers. Whilst the quality of evidence was limited, the reviewed data provided sufficient evidence that exposure to noise does impact our health. The review also concluded that further research is required and should be supported to build on the existing bank of knowledge.
Noise regulation in Victoria is the responsibility of the Victorian Environmental Protection Authority. The EPA administers the standards and policy that apply to Victoria, including State Environmental Protection Policy, control of noise from commerce, industry and trade. These regulations prescribe the types and levels of permitted noise and establish roles and responsibilities around noise control and enforcement within Victoria. In supporting the growth and development of Central Geelong and its surrounding suburbs, we must do so in the understanding this continual expansion comes with consequences, and that the prolonged exposure of construction noise to the community may result in negative health outcome in both a working and home environment. In order to support prosperity, we must protect and preserve what makes workplaces and homes healthy environments. Furthermore, a deep understanding of the impacts of such build-up would support the development of preventative health measures, including improvements to policy and regulation and/or mitigation measures as a means of reducing the risks, costs and likely strain on the local health services.
In order to support the growing need for research in this area, Deakin, with the support of the Leaders for Geelong program, initiated a pilot study on the non-auditory health impacts of construction and traffic noise. This study was developed to confirm and test their assessment methodology in laboratory conditions by monitoring the participants' physiological and psychological responses to controlled short-duration noise exposure, with the hope to expand the research program into the future.
In this research, biosensors were attached to the body to measure the impact of noise on physical performance in terms of brain signals, heart rate, respiratory rate, skin galvanic response, and body temperature. Speakers were used to emit construction and traffic noise. The maximum level of noise that the participants experienced in this experiment was 85 decibels, which is similar to the level of noise in a busy urban street and deemed safe in accordance with noise compliance code provided by WorkSafe Victoria. The types of noise that were investigated include saw, jackhammer, pile driver, bulldozer, and highway traffic noise. The levels of noise used were 65 decibels and 85 decibels, with participants exposed to different types and levels of noise for 3 minutes. We are now going to take you through a short test similar to that experienced by the participants of the study. If you are sensitive to loud noises, please turn down your sound now. During the test, you will be shown 10 words for a period of 15 seconds. Concentrate on each word and try and memorise the words. After the 15 seconds, the words will be removed from the screen. Try to recite or write down as many of the words on the list as you can. We will then repeat the test with a new list of words. Note how much more difficult it is to concentrate, focus and memorise the words when you have the added distraction of the construction noise playing in the background. We will begin now. Recite or write down as many of the 10 words as you can. How did you go? Now we're going to do this again, but with some noise of a jackhammer whilst you're trying to remember the words. Now again, try and remember as many of the words that you saw on the screen as you could. Write them down or recite them out loud. Think about how much harder it was to focus and concentrate when the noise was being played. Now, reflect on what it would be like if, during your day-to-day work, you were being exposed to persistent construction noise.
As part of the first test, the participants were asked to self-assess their level of stress and discomfort following exposure to both 65 and 85 decibels of the various noise types. The figure displayed shows the participants considered the higher decibel noise exposure to be uniformly more uncomfortable and stressful, with the jackhammer causing the highest level of stress and discomfort. The participants' cognitive performance was also tested. Tests were aimed to assess both the attention and memory of participants, with results indicating reduced accuracy of response with noise exposure. As shown, exposure to noise has also negatively affected participants' reaction time. The testing also indicated that different types and levels of noise may also affect physiological responses, including heart rate, breath rate, and brain signals, with results indicating abnormalities in heart rate and breath rate, which can show the potential physical health effects. The brain signals of participants indicated a response to all noise types. Interestingly, this reaction appears to be heightened in frequencies above 50 Hz. The testing also indicated that different types and levels of noise may result in an unpleasant feeling in people considering the higher power of gamma waves in the brain signals.
The potential health risks of environmental noise are gaining increased attention. With population soaring and changes in both urban and rural developments, a growing number of people in Australia are being exposed to environmental noise. Research literature and complaints related to environmental noise issues have grown substantially, providing new insights into how people are being exposed to noise and the potential health impacts. This project is intended to bring forward a potential longer-term monitoring program to help inform noise policy and regulation in Australia by evaluating the evidence of health effects of environmental noise for the Australian context and with the contribution of Geelong-based research. Further support for research in this field will assist regulatory authorities, public health professionals and others by indicating the magnitude of the effect described and helping support the development of strategies and measures both in noise regulation, mitigation control measures and innovative construction and demolition technology. Deakin is firmly committed to progressing this research further and hopes to engage with the community and key stakeholders including Barwon Health, WorkSafe, City of Greater Geelong and the EPA.
If you'd like to learn more about this research, or you or your organisation would like to participate in Deakin's forthcoming research, please contact Dr. Farnad Naseerzadeh on the details on your screen. Thank you.